The Premier League returns in a few days' time, but today we have got some huge transfer news regarding Semenyo's release clause, the fee from a credible source in what Bournemouth would sell him for in both the summer and the January transfer window. And we're going to talk about how that release clause really works. We've also got some Arsenal transfer news with regards to Yildiz, as well as Liverpool's centre-back hunt continues. And there is a short list of 5 centre-backs on there, as well as who will actually sign Semenyo. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already. That really would be greatly appreciated. The love on the videos have been absolutely unbelievable the last week or so. So make sure you go down, drop a like. I'm seeing 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 1,000. The likes are absolutely ridiculous. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. We are less than 20,000 away. Big up to everyone. We just hit 80K as well. One of the best communities, if not the best community on YouTube. So let me know your thoughts and appreciate the love. Now, we're going to get straight into this report coming out regarding Semenyo. Now, we know that Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United and Spurs are all interested in signing him. Now, the question is, I personally feel if Semenyo is going to leave, it will be next summer. I find it very difficult to believe that Semenyo would leave Bournemouth and Bournemouth would sell him this upcoming January transfer window, which is only 2 and a bit months away. Now, Semenyo has been trending all over the socials. It was announced that he does have a release clause in his contract. Now, Anfield Sector have come out and said the following with regards to Semenyo and his release clause. It says, Antoine Semenyo has a release clause in his Bournemouth contract. Liverpool are big admirers. The exact terms of the release clause are being kept under wraps as Bournemouth want to keep hold of their star man for as long as possible. Now, a lot of ITKs over the socials believe this could be a similar release clause to the one that Eberechi Eze had at Crystal Palace. And what that essentially means, guys, is they want a significant fee up front, a huge fee. Now, I personally think right now he's one of the best players in the Premier League in terms of his performances this season. He's been unbelievable since the start of the season. Only Erling Haaland has got more goal contributions. Breaking, Liverpool are now leading the race to sign Antoine Semenyo and are in direct contact. His price in January will be between 90 to 100 million pounds, and in the summer, it falls to 70 million. Now, that is coming out from Indy, who's a very, very, very credible source. Now, I want to start with, we'll come back to Liverpool, Semenyo and Arsenal. Now, I personally believe if Semenyo is going to be joining Arsenal, that would tell me that one of 3 things is happening. I personally believe Gabriel Jesus' career at Arsenal, I think time is ticking. I don't think he fits in. I'll be brutally honest with you. I don't think he starts out on the right. They've got Saka, Noni Madueke. Up front, they've got Gyökeres and Kai Havertz will be back soon. And on the left, they've got both Leandro Trossard and Martinelli, who, in my opinion, are both better left wingers. I do think Gabriel Jesus will be sold in the summer. They could use that funds to go and move for a Semenyo. I personally believe next summer or January, you will see Gabriel Jesus and Leandro Trossard. They are the 2 players that I think will be leaving Arsenal in the next 6 to 9 months by the time we get to next summer. Now, when we get to next summer, they, of course, are still looking to sign a left winger. Now, Semenyo predominantly plays out on that right-hand side. He is a predominant right winger who can play on the left as well. You know, his contract, he's only just signed a new extension on his contract, which was back in July of this year. So you are talking some 70 million pounds, I would probably say is what you're looking for. I probably agree with that in terms of valuation, what you're going to pay. 60 million was seems to be the going rate for the likes of Kudus, Ilanga, Morgan Gibbs-White. you know, a lot of wide players were leaving the Premier League for that sort of, around that sort of mark. Now, what's really, really interesting is he's only, I say only, in terms of football terms, his wages aren't that high. He's on £75,000 a week, 7 games played, 6 goals, 3 assists. It's a really, really strong return, isn't it? Of course, a homegrown player, you know, born in London, represents Ghana at an international level. I think he will be leaving next summer. I think what also, I'm looking at it from Liverpool's perspective as well. I look at the forwards they've got. They don't really have an out-and-out left winger. They've played Florian Wirtz there at times, other than Cody Gakpo. Florian Wirtz has played there. Hugo Ekitike may play there. Cody Gakpo. Is Cody Gakpo, I probably would say he's on the same sort of level as Semenyo, but Cody Gakpo hasn't been, isn't really going to be the main man at Liverpool. Does Semenyo want to move to that Liverpool team and fight for his place with Cody Gakpo? Whereas I think he's a better footballer than Martinelli, and there's a higher chance of him starting. They have, of course, got Eberechi Eze at Arsenal, but he's not a predominant left winger. So I don't really, in terms of, Liverpool, I don't know what. I think I think Arsenal would probably be the better move for him. But I can't look. It's Liverpool Football Club, or a massive, massive, massive football club, one of the biggest in the world, who can offer high wages, which would not surprise anyone if he joined them. Now, speaking of Liverpool, this news come out earlier today, and a few ITKs have confirmed it. The Liverpool are interested in Borussia Dortmund defender Nico Schlotterbeck. Liverpool see the 25-year-old as a successor to Virgil van Dijk. The Premier League side was even interested in a potential winter signing, but Dortmund has ruled that out. Schlotterbeck is a very, very quick, nimble centre-back. 25 years of age, represented Germany at international tournaments. He's a very, very experienced player. Been at Borussia Dortmund now for a number of years. Long term, he's going to be 26 in December. It would make a lot of sense. He's been at Dortmund since 2022. He can play left back, predominantly left-sided centre-back. Probably will be a mainstay in the German team going forward. Is he going to be on Van Dijk's level in a few years? Maybe, probably not, but it would be a very, very good replacement. Now, I saw this earlier as well on Transfer News Live, and this was the list of centre-backs who are out of contract in the summer of 2026. And the reason why this is relevant is because those 3 players at the very, very top are heavily, heavily linked with moves. Upamecano has been linked with a move to Liverpool from Florian Plettenberg, same as Marc Guehi. Konate has been linked with Real Madrid. I think Marcos Sensi is a fantastic centre-back. I would not be at all surprised if Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, or any big football club were to go in for this guy. Christensen, Webster, Nicolas Soule, Alvarez, Shaw, Emre Can, Eric Garcia is a free agent as well. I expect a hell of a lot of movement on this list. It would not surprise me one bit, though, if Marcos Sensi was an Arsenal player or a Chelsea or Man United player in the coming transfer window. Now, another player that has been linked to Arsenal, and this would be, like the ultimate, again, would really, really piss me off. And he has been linked a number of times, is Yildiz. Now, you're probably thinking, who is that? What are you talking about? Never heard of him. He is a top talent, 21-year-old, Turkish international. Transfer News Live put this out saying, 21-year-old Turkey forward Kenan Yildiz is set to reject interest from Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United in favouring a new long-term deal at Juventus. Now, what's very, very important is one of his big admirers was Alessandro Del Piero, and he's a massive, massive Juve fan. But we have seen this so many times. Money talks, and his new contract is €110,000 a week, which is about just under 100K. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Spurs, at this moment in time, are in all stronger financial positions due to the amount of money in the Premier League compared to Juventus. I can't believe I'm saying this, but someone like Sunderland this season went out there and spent more money than one of the biggest teams in Italy. The amount of money in the Premier League at this moment in time is obscene. I think Yildiz will be on the move next summer, and I think he will be Premier League bound. Now, speaking of the Premier League, it is back this weekend, and thank God it is back. We'll come back to Yildiz in a minute. This is how the Premier League table looks before we get into this weekend's action. Big games. Tottenham have got Villa. Liverpool have got Man United. Arsenal are away to Fulham. Chelsea have got Forest, which could be Ange Postecoglou's last game. I have a feeling Arsenal go 4 points clear this weekend. Well, they could be. Actually, you know what? If they beat Fulham, they're 4 points clear before Liverpool even play. Man United is not an easy game, and they are conceding goals. The fact that Man United have only conceded 2 less goals than Liverpool is insanity. That's crazy. But we are going to be back tomorrow for a lot more content on the Premier League. In terms of this upcoming January transfer window, I expect Liverpool to go out there and drop big money. Richard Hughes apparently is in direct contact with sources close to Semenyo. I think Arsenal maybe bring one in, maybe because of an injury. Other than that, I don't know if they'll do a huge amount of business. But if Liverpool go out there and were to drop 90 million on Semenyo, bearing in mind, I believe Richard Hughes was the guy who brought Semenyo to Bournemouth. So yeah, that would be a pretty straightforward deal for them in terms of relationships. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button because the road to 100K is on. And I'll see you next time. I'm out.